Okay, welcome you 13 IT students at Mr. Meredith. Unfortunately, I may not be in for a little while and I don't want you to fall behind, so I'm basically recording what I was going to show you this week for you to do. You should have been told, well, if you're accessing this, Mr. Jenkins or Mr. Bruford has shown you where to go, and I'll describe what it is I want you to do. You should have completed, and I've only had one submitted so far, the user requirements. So please, can you complete and submit that document for me ASAP if you would like some feedback on it. And I also set you the task of starting the write-up for design and implementation for the tables, queries, and validation rules. So you should be completing that as well. And if you like, you can send that to me via Edmodo as well, and I will take a look and make sure that everything's okay. What we're going to be looking at is starting testing of your queries. Okay, that's what I was going to look at this week. Testing all 6 of them to make sure that they work and how you document that for marks as well. So we're looking for another 6 marks here in your coursework on testing each of those 6 queries. You should have, because you think you copied the folder, but if you didn't, in the pupil shared, I'm on the home axis here, in the IT folder, in A-level IT, there's my folder there, Mr. Meredith, 2016-2017, and you should access testing.doc file there. When you open it, it looks like this, okay, and you've got all these different grids and evidence in there. You need to scroll down past, these are the headings here, the stuff that we're doing. You need to scroll down and you need to go to testing all 6 queries here. So we've got, here they are here. Remember, I tried to make you name them so you could recognize what they are. Hopefully you did, and it'll be easier for you. We've got both single table queries, both multiple table queries, the parameter query, and the update, append, or delete query. Some of you did a delete query, some of you did an update query, depending on which group you were in. Okay, so I'll show you an example of how to do that. I can't actually demonstrate with Access because I've only got a Mac with me here, and Access doesn't work on a Mac. Okay, so I'm going to show you by example, by paperwork example, on how to do this. Now, the biggest mistake students do with this is they don't actually test that the query works. They just test that it runs. They just double click on it. It comes up with some results and say, yes, it works, and moves on. Well, you've got to test whether or not the results that query, that search shows are accurate. Okay, and I will show you how you go about doing that. Okay, so I'm just going to close the empty one here. You'll start off with this, and I'll go back to an example that I downloaded just now. Okay, this is a finished one here. All right, I'll PDF and pop this on the J drive for you as well, okay, for you to pick up. So again, we're not only looking at queries at the moment, we're not looking at the other stuff, okay. So if you scroll down and you find, here we go, test all 6 queries, you will see that the same as what I've just showed you, single table query 1. So the purpose is in here. You should have written the purpose in the design, so you could copy and paste that if you've done a good job of that. If you haven't done that yet, well, if you put it in here, you copy and paste it across to the design. Okay, so purpose of the query, this query allows the business to see who out the entire customers they have served are not members with the gym shop. This allows them to send marketing or promotions to them. Quite a simple one. All right, I will identify the non-members from the customer table and see if the query finds same members. The query should produce a list of all non-members. Now, what I would like to have seen in here, okay, and I think I've got an older version of this and I made the student do it, so it's quite good, is for them to go and manually work out how many records that should be. Okay, so I would expect to see, for example, if I go into my table and add up all the what are they looking for? All the non-members, that should find, so something like this should find 6 records. Okay, now at this point, you should go and test and run it before you type the actual outcome in. And then you reference the number of the test and the evidence. So it says here the query produced a table of expected non-members. What I would like to see here is the query produced a table of expected non-members. As expected, it found 6 records, or as I predicted. Okay, so we go to test 17. Now, this student has made up for it, and I want this as well in there, is that the above screenshot of the customer table, it's the whole customer table there, you can see it here, shows that the query should find 5 customers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can tell those were not members, they do not have a tick in the existing member field next to their postcode. That's pretty good. So the query is then run, and we've got those 5 who are not members in there. Sorry, I should have counted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Apologies for that. Just finding people who are not members. The above screenshot shows the query does indeed work as 5 customers' information is displayed in the table form. What this is allowing me to say, yes, I'm going to give this mark, even though I would have preferred to have seen, get that right there, 5 records and a reference to it there, is that the student has shown the before screenshot with the analysis of what it should find. Because remember, you've only got small amounts of test data, 10, 15 records, so it's easy to go through it. And then it's got the after screenshot there. That's really important when you're doing that testing. You must, or you should, reference it in the expected outcome, what should happen, and then what actually did happen, and then the evidence to back that up. Always 2 screenshots, before, after you run. What you're trying to find via the tables, and then what you're trying to find, or what you did find when you run it. So, second query here, this query allows the business to see its 5 best-selling items. This is the multiple table one now, okay, because the other one's pretty similar. I will identify the 5 best-selling products by looking through the query. Should find the same 5 records that I've worked out. Could have listed that in there. Again, the student sort of didn't, but so what we're looking at here, we're looking for evidence of test 19. So I would now mark in this, go down and scroll with evidence of test 19. As the above screen show, I've looked through the report, the sales details. So looked through the tables, the sales details, and worked out the 5 best-selling items which are shown above. So you have to work them out yourself and screenshot and say what they should be, and then see the result of the query should be that. Okay? So the student just about borderline, it is borderline on the evidence being good there, but it did just about make it through. And then we'll have a look at the parameter query here. The user is able to search stock in a particular size with this query. The query should display the same products that I find in the same size. So they were looking for M for medium. Again, I would like to say this should find 6 records. It did find 6 records as an example. Okay, I probably will, I will throw this back to you if you don't do that. Evidence 21. I will search for size M in the parameter query. Therefore, as the above screen shows, 2 products should be displayed. So we can go through and look at 1, 2 products from there. I searched for M and there's 2 that comes out there. Okay, that is how you do your testing. So you would fill out up to expected outcome, what the query is doing, okay, an explanation of it, what the query, the test data that you're using, what it's trying to find, that's its business purpose, that's what it's trying to find, what you expect to happen, and always try and list the number of records that are going to come out because you're manually calculating it. When you're into this column, you should be in your Access database, going through your tables, working out how many records should be found by it, and then saying what it did. And then evidencing always with 2 screenshots. The table showing how many should be found, and the result saying how many were found. Okay, shouldn't take too long. Okay, I'll give you 2 lessons to do that. Hopefully I'll be back pretty soon, but if not, I will post up some other videos on how to do validation rules. Would be the next part for that. Okay, so make sure you get on with that. No excuses, no running off to the common room, etc. Any questions, anything else, message me on Edmodo, and any work that you've got, your user requirements I need in. I've only had Rico so far, so well done, Rico. I need in. I've got time at the moment, stuck here with a broken foot. to actually mark them and go through them. So if you can send those in, that'd be great. Okay, happy testing.